Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. We're going to use these lights, camera, action, filmmaking here. The FABELMANS, Steven Spielberg's family epic, thinly disguised, autobiographical film by the master himself, Steven Spielberg, the man who's brought us E.T., Poltergeist, etc., and Indiana Jones. Did he direct those? I think he did. What else? Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Schindler's List. Need I go on? Well, here we go, folks. This might be his most personal film yet. This is the movie we've been waiting for Steven Spielberg to make. I enjoyed the film. It reminds me a tinge. I hate to bring this man's name up, but Woody Allen, who made Radio Days, kind of similar. The story of my childhood, the story of my life. In this film, we meet Sam, or Sammy Fabelman. His father is played by Paul Dano. His mother is played quite well by Michelle Williams. Dano does a nice job. And there's Uncle Benny, who's not a true uncle, but he's Dad's best friend. And you can see it coming a mile away, but he's also Mom's best friend. He's played by Seth Rogen in a serious turn as the Judas of the whole deal. I guess I'm giving spoilers, by the way. Sue me. Spoiler fucking alert. What else? A bevy of younger sisters, children actresses. Of course, most of the screen time. Sorry, gentleman, I can't remember your name. The young man who plays Sam Fabelman, good actor, very good actor. I'm sure he's going to have a nice career ahead of him. At times, you can see the Spielbergian face of his. Actually, there's two young actors who play this role. Maybe like the 7-year-old version, 6 or 7 or 8-year-old version, and then like the 14 to 17-year-old version. The 14 to 17-year-old version has a lot more screen time. It's really his movie. The actor, I don't know his name. I don't know if this is his first film or if he's done others, but he did quite a nice job. As did all the actors. I don't think there was a weak actor in the bunch. A couple of characters were kind of interesting. The bullies in California. Hard to get a read on them. I also found that the girl interest, the Christian girl love interest, was kind of amusing and entertaining, so to speak. I was kind of hoping she'd pull through for our hero and show up at the end of the film, but she didn't. What else? So what's this movie about, you might be wondering? Well, gee whiz, it's a family epic. It's like, this is the story of how this young man, Sam Fabelman, becomes a filmmaker. But it's, like I said, a thinly veiled look, I'm thinking, into the life of Steven Spielberg. Maybe with some embellishment, maybe with a lot of embellishment. I'm assuming, but I could be wrong. Who knows? It could be all fictional horse shit. But I like the movie. It does give you... this is the type of film that people that make films would like. A good friend of mine who's doing quite well in his career as a filmmaker tells me that he hates movies that are about making movies, but I always counter and say, well, you know what? The public likes these movies. The public can't get enough of fucking the producers and whatever the fuck. Movies about making movies. I've written a screenplay, Margins, which is quite wonderful. It's actually a stage play about the divide between the film and the theater world. So in any event, I think this movie, The Fabelmans, is quite good. Is it Oscar winning? I don't know. I mean, it probably will be nominated for a few things because it's Spielberg and so forth. Is it his best work? I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's different. I mean, there's no aliens, there's no ETs, there's no Harrison Fords jumping through a cannon. It's just family folklore. Paul Dano does a really nice, subtle job of the aloof father, not realizing his wife is getting boned by his best buddy. Michelle Williams does very well playing sadness and regret in her eyes. Does quite a good job of that. Seth Rogen is the lovable scumbag, you know, the guy that you think he's your friend, but he's fucking your wife. What else? Like I said, the young man playing, the two young men, I should say, playing Sam Fabelman, unless I'm forgetting someone. They both did a really nice job. Apparently, the character of Sammy Fabelman, is a bit socially inept as a child. And what I got from this movie was that actually making films kind of brings him out of his little shell and into the world of humanity. Okay? Like, that's how he connects with people, is through film. A little bit of Asperger's, a little bit of, social disorder, whatever the fuck. But through film, he finds connection. Okay? What else? Some good, not good, but some interesting or timely, with all this yay crap and all this shit going on in the world. Some timely bullying, anti-Semitic bullying is discussed and reviewed, and the bigotry, okay? And also the exoticism of the young Jewish man by the Christian girl. She seems so intrigued by his Jewish prowess, yet she wants to rescue him into the world of Christ. This female character, this girlfriend character, I think her name was Monica, I could be wrong. What else? I don't know, just good shit. I mean, I guess you could have said, well, could we have a little more development of the sister characters? I suppose you could have. Here's the thing. You ready, folks? Even Spielberg falls victim to this. I don't know Steven Spielberg's real life. I don't know how much this movie was based on his real life. But here you go. I'm guessing, but I do not know, that Spielberg actually did grow up with three younger sisters, or three sisters, okay? Now, in this film, just based on logic, there's not enough screen time available after all the main characters are said and done to really give all three sister characters a spotlight, okay? So it would have been more sensical if they had combined these three female sisters into maybe two or even one female character. Now, I guess the idea also, though, is that you want to have a full house full of kids. That's part of it. But I did feel, and call me wrong, but I feel like, one of those sister roles was one too many, maybe one or two too many. If you had just had one or two sisters in this movie, you would have had a much stronger supporting character, in my opinion. And I get it, house full of kids is different. When you have, 4 kids instead of just 2 or 3, it's a much bigger dynamic. So I understand, that they might have wanted to kept that, meaning Spielberg. But I'm just telling you that I felt like these sister characters, there could have been something more to that. The dynamic, the relationship, hey! But, no, there was just too many sisters in my book. Judd Hirsch, I shouldn't forget. Good old Judd Hirsch, if you recall Taxi. He was the main guy on Taxi, Alex. And he was also in a lot of other stuff. He had a show, I'm trying to remember that show, Dear John. Remember that show? Dear John letter, the Dear John show. He's in therapy all the time with a group therapy. Dear John. So, Judd Hirsch is a nice little cameo, kind of an extended cameo. He's in the movie for about 10 or 12 minutes. He plays the uncle, not our lead guy's uncle, but his mother's uncle. So the granduncle, the brother of the grandmother who dies. So a lot of interesting things in this film. Very family-oriented, but also a family with trouble, because there's divorce. So, what do I say, folks? I say go see this movie. I did nice counterintuitive, or whatever the fuck, counter-programming. I saw this movie tonight on a Saturday night, 9:40, when all the Wakandas and all the fucking Black Adams and this and that's and that's and this, all the movies are playing The fucking whatever the fuck movie I just saw the other night, Violent Night, is playing on 30 screens. Wakanda Forever is playing on 25 screens. They've got Top Gun Maverick back in the theater at full price. It was pretty wild. But with all these things said, I knew that this intellectual art house of a Steven Spielbergian movie would probably not be getting the teenage weekend crowd at 9:40 at night. And so I went to see the movie, and guess what? I was the only one in this auditorium. And that's not saying, oh, isn't that awesome? Well, it kind of is, because then I can crack my neck, I can twist my back, I can talk to the screen, I can do whatever the cunt I want, because I'm the only one in the goddamn theater. So I enjoyed it. That's it. You might be wondering, gee whiz, Mike, we've enjoyed your review. Are you saying we should see this movie? And I'm saying emphatically yes. And Steven Spielberg, you can take my wonderful book, A Distance from Avalon. I know that you, after this art house of a family drama, you may be wondering, how can I get back into the mainstream? Well, I'd say all you have to do, Steven, is produce A Distance from Avalon, When the Dying and the Dead Reunite, by your buddy, Mike Messier, me. All of you watchers, I'm getting disappointed because you're not buying my goddamn book. It makes a perfect stocking stuffer for yourself or someone else's stocking. Fight or Play Basketball, another wonderful book by me. You should have bought by now. I'm kind of upset that you assholes haven't purchased yet as much as you should be. Okay? After all the wonderful reviews I've been getting, you fucks should be buying my goddamned books. But in any fucking event, I hope you assholes have a Merry goddamned Christmas and all that bullshit and all that wonderful horse shit and all that goddamn bullshit. I'm just kidding. It's the tappy fucking season time. So on behalf of subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel and Mickey fucking Mouse, hey kids, fucking Merry Christmas, I say adios, assholes, and see you soon. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel, for Christ's sake.